Welcome into your Louisiana Geaux Nation. He is Brian Holland.
Let's go!
In the sports world, he's excited. Not sure why, but we are here.
We're talking football. We're out at the Senior Bowl. And oh, by the way, we've got baseball, softball. We've already talked to the players, the coaches. Like, I love crossover season. I know here in like a month, I'm like, it's wearing me out. Right now, though, it's just all excitement.
You're just ready to go.
I'm ready to go. Speaking of, let's get started. We always start with what we learned. Usually you've got some sort of hot take.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you got it locked and loaded.
Yes, I'm ready to go.
All right, well, I'll give you the floor.
I've been ready to go on this one. As soon as this happened, I was like, Brian's not ready for this.
Oh.
Dabo Swinney. I've made fun of that man for a lot of things, especially his little run down the hill right before kickoff, because I think it's silly, and honestly, I'm still waiting for him to fall and go viral. But Dabo, he laid down the hammer, y'all, on Pete Golding and Ole Miss for the entire world to see. I didn't think he had it in him, and he came with receipts, calling out Pete Golding and his staff for tampering with his players. Bruh, it takes some cojones to do what he did in that press conference. Now, we know it's easier to take the high road and let it slide, but it needed to be done. He is the first coach to call it for what it is, and then he backed it up. I have mad respect for Dabo for doing the right thing. A lot of people, well, they don't do that, but even more so, Dabo warned Golding and his staff. They did it anyway. Dabo is running his program with integrity, which not a lot of coaches do, and he's not afraid to tell the truth. A lot of folks, they can't do that because of their actions. Now, the real question is, will the NCAA do something about it, or are they just going to be the NCAA?
Yeah, you said it right. Dabo can do it.
Yes.
Because he has a track record of never doing something like this and tampering. Boy, it's going to be a hot button issue for a while, I think. By the way, the world aghast, speaking of hot button issues, that Bill Belichick not voted as a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I guess I'm the first one who feels like, meh, I don't know, who cares? Like, he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
And oh, by the way, look at really the whole subject through sober eyes. As soon as he didn't have the greatest quarterback of all time, the GOAT, Tom Brady, he was terrible. He had a 43% winning percentage. 2 of the 4 seasons without Brady were losing seasons. His lone playoff appearance blown out by 30. And he had full autonomy. Remember, he picks the roster there in New England, or he did. He drafted who he wanted to coach, and on top of that, he was proven to have cheated with cameras. We saw what happened with Michigan, right? Look, I'm not doubting that he's one of the best defensive coaches of all time, but if me and my kids are walking through the hall one day and it comes up, even though it probably won't because no one remembers this stupid, minute stuff later, years later, I should say anyways, but if it would, look, we would all say, look, actions have consequences. All of your actions do. In the end, though, if he did make it first ballot, I don't really think I would have cared that much anyway. Like, good, great, all right. To me, it's mostly just a non-factor. He'll be in the Hall. He'll still be on the Mount Rushmore of NFL coaches. So who cares about this little, I mean, you don't even get like a mark that says first ballot Hall of Famer on it. Like, you know, like, I don't care. I do care about, though, it is officially talking season there for LSU baseball. The defending champs get a little defensive, if you will, when you ask about defending a title. To LSU head coach Jay Johnson's point, almost half this roster this year are newcomers, so they don't really know what it's like to be in this position. Wear the purple and gold, have that target on your back. But it's the standard. It speaks for itself as soon as you walk through the doors there at LSU.
And it's just honoring the standard. I mean, you look around, not many places in college baseball have a room called the Champions Club. And that's for a reason. I mean, LSU is the golden standard of college baseball, and it's not just because of the winning history, it's because of how everyone handles their business every day. We called it working like number 2 and acting like number 1.
That's why one of the things for us this year is hold the standard, and that means something different when we say hold the standard. Like, obviously, you look around here, everybody knows what that is from a results standpoint, but hold the standard of high level of accountability, honoring the process, team over me, and being totally focused on right now.
It's also showing up to an opposing stadium, and it's when we walk through that gate, you know that LSU's coming. Like, at the end of the day, like, we're going to show you why we have a target on our back.
The biggest question mark surrounding LSU baseball, who will be the Tigers' ace now that Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson are in the bigs? Baton Rouge's very own and Catholic High product William Schmidt is gearing up for his sophomore campaign and ready to take that next step, vying for a starting spot in the weekend rotation.
Is going to be a huge part of the success of this team, and it could be his role is he's capable of it being whatever he wants it to be, and he's going to have the opportunity to go get that. Stealing a Kobe Bryant thing of never getting bored with the basics. I think you take a guy like William, who probably overwhelmed everybody for 2 years at Catholic High, you might not understand why the midweek bullpen is important, or the lift after the outing is important, or going back and reviewing, the game and taking the next step forward and improving as the season goes along.
All right, still to come, some good news for the LSU offense in Lane Kiffin's first year at the helm of the program. We'll explain.
Yeah, plus we take you to Mobile, Alabama, where some LSU Tigers are fighting for their future at the next level, and they've got a familiar face helping them as well. A full report from the Senior Bowl right after this.
Welcome back into your Louisiana Geaux Nation. He is Brian Hall and I am Chessa Boucher. It's always a good sign when your coaching staff is in the mix for any NFL job.
Any college job, too.
Yep.
I mean, stepping up, no matter where you go, it says you're hiring correctly. But that could also be a bad thing. Charlie Weiss Jr. spoke with the Philadelphia Eagles about their offensive coordinator job, let me get that right, but has informed them he's staying in Baton Rouge with LSU. But it might mean that there could be some more NFL teams with some more NFL interest in the near future. So we're going to keep an eye on that. As far as the former LSU Tiger, Garrett Nussmeier, in the Senior Bowl this week, and well, talking about the injury. He actually didn't specify exactly what it was. So it's still kind of a mystery to me there, Chessa. But did say, look, I couldn't use my core, so I was throwing the ball without a core. It's hard. It's hard. I've been going back from the ground up, getting back to finishing throws, rotating through the ball, and actually using my core now. Sounds healthier. It's been nice. The ball is definitely coming out a lot different now.
It's been a long process for me dealing with the injury, and so it was kind of down to the wire-ish. Obviously, I had that re-injure towards the end of the season, and so been working, really hard to try and get back healthy. And so, as soon as we realized that, hey, okay, I can go do this, it was a no-brainer. I've been through adversity throughout my entire career in college. Whether it was, when Jaden transferred in and, I thought I was going to be the guy. Just tried to take something from anything that I went through. And so that was kind of similar to the way it went this year. You want to play in the NFL for a long time. There's going to be a lot of things a lot of different adversities you're going to have to go through. Going through those, I can say that, hey, I've been through the hard of the hards, and I know what that's like. And I know that I can come out on top of it. And so definitely a great learning experience for me.
And speaking of, there may be no other player on the field this week with more to gain than the Nuss Bus. Thankfully, he's got a familiar face around practices. Our very own Sarah Palczewski checks in from the Senior Bowl.
The Saints are getting some first-hand experience with some of the top prospects in this year's NFL draft this week at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. But there's one prospect they're already pretty familiar with. You may know him too. LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. Nuss is the son of Saints offensive coordinator Doug Nussmeier and is participating this week as a quarterback for the American team.
Here as a dad to see Garrett, but also as a coach working for the Saints to look at the offensive players that are out here on both teams. Obviously, there's a difference between being a dad and being an NFL offensive coordinator. So, and you have to draw lines on certain things. It's just cool to be here and be a part of the experience.
I'm extremely blessed to have him in my life, to be able to have a upper hand in the sense of knowing what to expect. Being around guys, that he's coached in the last 6-7 years. Being around Dak, being around Jalen Hurts, seeing those guys, Justin Herbert, and now Tyler going to his first year. Just getting to watch those guys, kind of study them from afar, I guess you could say, and see how they interact and things like that is something that's helped me a lot.
Saints general manager Mick Loomis says he doesn't believe he's ever been in a situation before where a member of his coaching staff has a son going through the draft process.
Garrett's a really good player and thought of really well, and obviously we think a lot of Doug. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't think we've ever had that circumstance before. In my 40 years in the league, I don't recall where we've ever had a coach with a player in the draft. Maybe we have, but I can't remember it.
Loomis was asked if this was a type of situation where they'd ask Doug Nussmeier to leave the room when they meet with Garrett. He laughed and said, "No, it's not like that." Reporting in Mobile for your Geaux Nation, I'm Sarah Polcheski.
All right, good stuff there from Mobile, Alabama. Speaking of the NFL, former LSU passing game coordinator Joe Brady officially promoted. He was the offensive coordinator there for the Buffalo Bills. Now he is their newest head coach. In 2019, he helped lead LSU's offense to an undefeated national championship season, as well as quarterback Joe Burrow to a Heisman, and then he won the Broyles Award, which goes to the top college football assistant in the country. Brady gets a 5-year deal. And oh, by the way, they're moving into a new stadium in Buffalo as well, so that's in his future. All right, still to come. A little bit later, we debate one of the hot topics, to say the least, of college football right now as we learn more about the future of the college football playoff.
Plus, the secret to LSU's success lately is a Louisiana native. We'll break it all down next after the break. Welcome back in here, Louisiana Geaux Nation. He is Brian Holland. I'm Chessa Boucher. Kim Mulkey and company clicking at the right time, winning 5 straight. Big part of that, her point guard, Jada Richard, leading the charge. And during that 5-game winning streak, they are on a 22-point win in that span. But Jada Richard, she scored at least 20 points in 2 of LSU's last 3 contests, while also shooting 46% from the floor.
I'm a competitor, so of course last year I wanted to play more, I wanted to be on the floor more. But I kind of just use practice as my games. Like, you know what I'm saying, just getting better in practice, being intentional on every possession in practice, being intentional on my growth outside of practice, in the weight room, getting faster, just getting better and just taking that personal, you know what I'm saying? Because I always knew I can get to this stage. It was just a matter of just me being humble and just putting my head down and going to work.
Jada grew up being a point guard. It's not any magical thing I've done other than to maybe toughen her up, change a few mannerisms, make her understand you won 4 state championships and you had to be the scorer. You don't have to be the scorer here, but you can be. So it wasn't like she didn't have those skills last year. It was just adjusting to this level of college.
And oh, by the way, LSU gym fans, get to know the name Courtney Blackson. Get this, Chessa. She had competed 4 years at Boise State, then retired. Then Jay Clark runs into her at an Idaho camp, convinces her to come back to college athletics. Now she's a top 10 scorer in the country on bars.
Took a visit, not sure she wanted to do it, scared to death, hadn't done it in a year. Don't know if I can do it again, but we knew we were taking a flyer, and so did she. Through a lot of time and some emotional days, she's gotten it where she needs to be, and we've already seen the fruits of that. Just she's a heck of a competitor, and I'm learning to trust that because I don't see it every day in the gym the way I want to. But man, when the lights come on, she seems to really shine.
That she does. Still more to come, including who's wrong, who's right. Could the Big Ten have a point in their ongoing debate in the college football playoff against the SEC? We'll talk about it.
And a brand new roster for LSU softball, and they're still ranked number 2 in the country. Find out next in your Geaux Nation. Welcome back in your Louisiana Geaux Nation. He is Brian Holland. I am Chessa Boucher.
Yeah, Chessa, it's a transfer portal world, and we're just living in it. Beth Trina and LSU, though, adapting. Our very own Brendan Fairbairn has more on that.
Beth Trina enters her 15th season as the head coach of LSU softball with one of the most experienced rosters she's ever had. A big reason why is, of course, the transfer portal, bringing in 5 new players, 3 coming from the SEC. Altogether, there will be 11 new faces wearing purple and gold this season when you include the freshman class, which is the most newcomers in program history.
There's just no substitute for experience. Being able to add 2 players with 2 full years of SEC experience is pretty incredible. Add a CC Solero with, over 200 innings of college softball pitched. It's just, there's no substitute for experience, and we're lucky LSU has supported us in this quest to go out and add some of these transfers to our roster, and we thought what we did in the offseason was a home run. I mean, we thought our portal class was as good as anybody's, but for what we needed right here at LSU, it was a home run. The roster was designed to add right-handers, to add power offense, so we feel like we got that with Allie Hutchins, Charlotte Renz, Kylie Edwards. Of course, we have Tori and Macy already that have had a ton of success.
The Tigers only returned 7 players from just a year ago, but they were all key contributors, most notably being sophomore pitcher Jaden Heavner and the reigning SEC Freshman of the Year, Tori Edwards. Reporting on LSU softball for your Geaux Nation, I'm Brendan Fairbairn.
Coming up, in light of the amazing CFP we just saw, should we stick with 12 or is it the more the merrier? We'll debate. That's next.
Close it out, your Geaux Nation, Chess Boucher, I'm Brian Holland. And of course, this is where we debate. I don't think we're going to see eye to eye. Very few people do. But in light of the CFP and the changes, it said we're going to stay at 12, at least for this year. Big Ten wants 24. Remember, we were at 4. We could have gone to 16. Like, where do we land on the college football playoff and how many teams should get in? Who you got?
I'm down with just keeping it at 12. I think that's the sweet spot. I would like to see the automatic bids go away, though. Seeing Ole Miss thrash Tulane ain't it. JMU versus Oregon. I'm over that.
Yeah, so am I. Automatic bids, we actually see eye to eye on. Look, doesn't this feel like a distraction or a smokescreen? Like, the actual thing that we need to change is the schedule. We've seen that. That's the big problem. This is the smaller problem. We can't keep our eye on the ball. I was a proponent of keeping it at 4 without sharing revenue with the players. Now they're getting paid by the system. I'm all for going to 16, actually, because, look, the bye weeks are a disadvantage. They really are. So I think this would even the playing field for everyone, but it's the schedule. Guys, it is the schedules. That is the issue that we need to fix. This is all just extra, lanyard, if you will.
I agree.
All right, for Sarah Paul Chesky, Brendan Fairbairn, she's Chess Boucher. I'm Brian Holland. Until next time, this is the Geaux Nation.